Before the universe existed, there was no space, no time, no matter, no laws, not even darkness, because darkness already requires space to exist in. And yet, something happened. From absolute nothingness, everything appeared. Not gradually, not carefully, but suddenly, reality itself switched on. This raises the most unsettling question science has ever faced. Why does the universe exist at all? Not how it formed, not how it evolves, but why there is anything instead of nothing. For most of human history, this question belonged to philosophy and religion. Physics avoided it. Science preferred safer ground. Forces, particles, equations. But quantum physics changed that. It forced science to look directly into the abyss of nothingness, and what it found there was not empty at all. At the smallest scales, reality behaves in a way that defies common sense. Quantum fields never fully disappear. Even in perfect vacuum, energy flickers. Particles appear and vanish without cause. Existence, at its foundation, seems restless. This means something shocking. Nothingness may be impossible. The universe may exist because it has no alternative. In classical thinking, nothing is stable, empty, silent. But quantum physics paints a different picture. The lowest possible energy state of reality. The vacuum is not calm. It seethes with fluctuations. Tiny disturbances constantly emerge, borrowing energy from nowhere, then collapsing back into the void. On microscopic scales, these events vanish instantly. But scale matters. Given enough energy, enough instability, a fluctuation does not have to disappear. It can grow, it can inflate, it can become a universe. In this view, the universe did not break the rules by existing. It followed them. Existence may be the default outcome of quantum reality, but this only pushes the mystery deeper. If quantum laws allow universes to appear, then why do those laws exist? Why does reality have structure instead of chaos? Why does anything behave in a consistent way? This is where physics meets philosophy again. One idea suggests that laws of physics are not imposed from above. They are not written into reality like instructions. Instead, they emerge naturally from the requirement that something exists at all. Imagine a reality with no rules, absolute chaos, no patterns, no stability. Such a reality could not sustain itself for even a moment. It would collapse into incoherence instantly. Only realities with internal consistency can persist. In that sense, the universe exists because it is allowed to exist. Countless other possibilities may fail immediately. What we observe is not random, it is filtered by survivability. This is sometimes called a selection principle. Realities that can exist do exist. Those that cannot vanish before they can be observed. But this explanation creates a strange loop. The universe exists because it can exist, and it can exist because it exists. This circular logic is uncomfortable, yet quantum physics repeatedly leads us to self-referential truths. At the deepest level, reality does not explain itself from outside. It explains itself from within. Time complicates this even further. We think of the universe as something that began, a starting point, a moment of creation. But quantum theories of time suggest that beginning may be an illusion. Time itself may be an emergent property, not fundamental. At the deepest level, reality may not flow. It may simply be. If that's true, the universe did not come from nothing. It exists timelessly, with what we call the beginning, being a boundary inside our perception, not an absolute origin. The Big Bang may not be the birth of existence, but the limit of what time allows us to see. This reframes the question entirely. Instead of asking, why did the universe begin, we must ask, why does existence persist? And persistence is the key word. Quantum systems do not seek permanence, but stable patterns naturally survive longer. Structures form, laws emerge, complexity builds on itself. Over time, this leads to galaxies, stars, planets, and eventually, minds capable of asking why any of this exists. In other words, the universe may not be designed to exist, it may simply fail to stop existing. But there is an even deeper layer. Some physicists propose that information, not matter, is the most fundamental aspect of reality. Everything, particles, forces, space, time, may be expressions of information processing. If this is true, then existence is not about stuff. It's about distinction, a difference. A something is simply a state that is not identical to another state. And the moment difference exists, nothingness is broken forever. Perfect. Nothing would require perfect uniformity. No variation, no distinction. But such a state cannot generate laws, structures, or observers. The smallest deviation, the tiniest asymmetry, turns nothing into something. Once difference exists, reality unfolds. This suggests a radical idea. The universe exists because absolute nothingness is unstable. Nothing collapses into something the moment it deviates from perfection. But why would it deviate? There may be no reason, no cause, no intention. Existence may be a brute fact not explained, but unavoidable. This deeply challenges human intuition. We crave purpose. We want a reason. But quantum physics keeps telling us that at the deepest level, reality does not justify itself. It simply happens. Yet this doesn't make existence meaningless. In fact, it makes it extraordinary. Because if nothingness is unstable and existence is inevitable, then consciousness is not an accident. It is a natural outcome of reality, exploring its own possibilities. The universe exists, and through conscious beings, it becomes aware that it exists. This may be the strangest implication of all. Reality does not just happen, it notices itself happening. And once awareness appears, the question, why does the universe exist, transforms into something even more profound. Why is the universe able to ask that question at all? Perhaps the universe exists because existence and awareness are inseparable. Perhaps reality must generate observers in order to be complete. Or perhaps there is no final answer. Quantum physics has taught us that not all questions resolve cleanly. Some truths exist only as limits, as boundaries of understanding. The universe exists, not because it had to, not because it was designed, not because it serves a purpose, but because nothingness could not hold. And once something existed, it never fully let go. We are inside that something. We are made of it. And by asking why it exists, the universe continues the process that began with the first fluctuation. Existence questioning itself. And that may be the deepest answer we will ever get.